home alone right now, lock your doors and don't check behind you after this story. I used to love being home alone. Silence felt peaceful. Freedom felt safe. I was wrong. My name is Ethan Cole, and this happened on a cold Friday night in Ohio. My parents had gone to a wedding out of town. My sister was sleeping over at a friend's place. That left me alone in our 2-story suburban house, one of those quiet neighborhoods where nothing ever happens. Before leaving, my mom did her usual routine. Lock the doors. Don't open for anyone. If you hear noises, it's probably the house settling. That last line would haunt me. Around 9:30 p.m., I was in my room, headphones on, gaming. The house felt dead quiet. Too quiet. No TV noise, no footsteps, just me and the hum of my PC. That's when I heard it. A thud. Not loud, not dramatic. Just wrong. I paused my game and pulled off my headphones. Silence. I told myself it was nothing. Maybe something falling in the garage. Old houses make noises, right? 5 minutes later. Thud. This time, closer. It sounded like it came from downstairs. I grabbed my phone and texted my mom. "Did you leave the back door unlocked?" No reply. I checked the time. 9:47 p.m. I slowly walked out of my room. The hallway lights were off, and the darkness at the top of the stairs felt heavy, like it was watching me. I flipped the stair light on. The front door was still locked, deadbolt secure, windows closed. I exhaled, feeling stupid. Then I noticed something. The basement door was open. I never leave it open, ever. The basement light was off, and the darkness below looked thick, like it swallowed the light from the stairs. I whispered, "Hello?" My voice sounded wrong in the empty house. No response. I started backing away when I heard it. A slow dragging sound coming from the basement. Not footsteps, dragging. My heart slammed against my ribs. I pulled out my phone and called my dad. No answer. The dragging stopped. Then click. The basement light turned on. I froze. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. At the bottom of the stairs, I saw something shift. A shadow stretching unnaturally long against the wall. And then a voice spoke. Not loud, not angry, almost curious. "Ethan, you're home early." My blood ran cold. No one outside my family knew my name. I bolted upstairs and locked myself in my room. I shoved my desk against the door, heart pounding so hard I thought I'd pass out. I dialed 911. Before I could speak, something tapped on my door. 3 slow knocks. Knock, knock, knock. The voice came again, right outside my room now. "You shouldn't lock doors inside your own house." My phone buzzed. A text from my mom. "We're still 2 hours away, why?" The door handle began to turn. Slowly. Like whoever or whatever was enjoying this. I screamed into the phone for help. Suddenly, everything stopped. The knocking, the breathing, the voice. Silence. Police arrived 15 minutes later. They found no signs of forced entry, no fingerprints, no footprints, nothing. Except one thing, written on the fogged-up bathroom mirror downstairs. "Next time, don't answer." I don't stay home alone anymore. And sometimes, when the house is quiet, I still hear dragging coming from the basement. Do not read this story if you are home alone, especially if your house has more than one floor. My name is Lucas Reed, and this happened last winter in Pennsylvania. I was 19, fresh out of high school, and finally trusted to stay home alone overnight. My parents were visiting relatives gone for exactly one night. Just me, the house, and a frozen backyard buried under snow. Before leaving, my dad joked, "Relax. Worst thing that'll happen is the heater acting up." That joke still makes my stomach turn. By 11:40 p.m., I was lying on the couch watching Netflix. All the lights were on. I didn't want darkness, not yet. Then my phone buzzed. A notification from our indoor security app. Motion detected upstairs hallway. I frowned. We didn't own pets. I checked the live feed. The hallway was empty. I laughed nervously and blamed the heater or some glitch. Old system, cheap brand. 10 minutes passed. Another alert. Motion detected parents' bedroom. This time I muted the TV. The house felt crowded, like the air itself was disturbed. I checked the camera again. The bedroom door was open. I knew I had closed it earlier. I messaged my mom. Did you leave any cameras on while packing? She replied immediately. No, why? My heart started racing. Another alert popped up before I could reply. Motion detected living room. I was sitting in the living room. I stared at my phone. Then slowly, I lifted my head. Nothing had moved, but I felt it. That pressure on your back, the certainty that if you turn around, something will be there. I didn't turn. Instead, I opened the app again. The living room camera showed me on the couch, and behind me, someone standing in the dark kitchen. Tall, too tall. Their face wasn't visible, just a darker shape inside the darkness. I jumped up and ran outside barefoot, straight into the snow. I didn't grab keys. I didn't grab a jacket. I just ran. From the driveway, I called the police. I watched through the front window as the kitchen light turned on by itself. The officers arrived fast. They searched every room. Found nothing. No signs of forced entry. No footprints in the snow. The officer asked, "Are you sure you were alone when you came home?" That question didn't make sense. Until I remembered something. When my parents left earlier that day, I never watched them pull out of the driveway. I just assumed they did. The police left at 3:10 a.m. I stayed in my car until sunrise. Later that morning, my dad called. "Hey, weird question," he said. "Did you go upstairs last night?" "No," I said. "Why?" There was a pause. "When we checked the camera history," he said slowly, "someone went upstairs at 6:12 p.m. That was before we left." I stopped breathing. The final clip showed someone entering the guest room and never coming back out. We sold the house 2 months later. The new owners removed the cameras. They told us they didn't need them. Because every night at exactly 11:40 p.m., someone turns the kitchen light on anyway. If you are home alone right now, read this with the lights on. This story doesn't rely on footsteps or shadows. It relies on something worse. My name is Daniel Moore, and this happened in Arizona. I was 22 and living alone for the first time. Small rental house, 1 floor. No basement, no attic, just a bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, and living room. That's why what happened still doesn't make sense. It was a Sunday night, around 12:17 a.m. I was lying in bed scrolling my phone when I heard my phone ring. Unknown number. I ignored it. A second later, it rang again. I answered, annoyed. "Hello?" All I heard was breathing. Slow, careful, like someone holding the phone just a little too close to their mouth. I said, "Who is this?" The breathing stopped. Then I heard my own voice. Not recorded, not distorted. Perfect. It said, "I'm in the house." My stomach dropped. I laughed nervously. "Very funny," I said, assuming it was a prank. Then the voice continued, still mine. "You locked the front door. You checked the windows. You didn't check the bathroom." I sat up in bed. The call ended. I grabbed my phone flashlight and walked through the house. Front door locked, windows sealed, kitchen empty, living room untouched. Then I reached the bathroom. The light was on. I never leave it on. The mirror was fogged. Written on it with a finger, "Don't turn around." My phone rang again. Same number. I answered with shaking hands. This time, the voice whispered, right behind me, "Too late." I spun around. No one. The bathroom was empty. The mirror was clean. No message, no fog. My phone showed the call still active. Then I heard something I will never forget. The sound of my bed creaking. From the bedroom, slowly. Like someone was sitting down. I ran out of the house barefoot and didn't stop until I reached my neighbor's place. Police searched the house. Nothing. No forced entry, no fingerprints, no evidence. The officer asked one last question. Sir, are you sure your phone was with you the entire time? I checked my call history. The call didn't come from an unknown number. It came from my own phone. Outgoing. Duration, 14 minutes. I moved out the next day. But sometimes, late at night, my phone rings, and the caller ID says my name.